Tokyo Revengers. When I first heard that show's name, I didn't really know what to expect. I honestly thought it was going to be an action-heavy revenge story. And when I read the description, I thought it was going to have street fights and gang warfare as a running theme. And looking back at it, I guess I was kinda right, just not in the way that I was expecting. Even though all of that's in there, the show lives in my head rent-free for completely different reasons. But before we get into that, let's get the synopsis out of the way. The show is about a guy named Takemichi Hanagaki who grew up to be an absolute pushover. One day, he wakes up to the news that his middle school girlfriend, the only one that he ever had, was killed in an attack launched by a gang in Tokyo. And on the same day, he finds himself at a train station just before getting pushed over onto the tracks. But just before the train hits, he's taken back to 12 years in the past where he has the opportunity to change the future. And in doing so, confront his failures that led him to becoming the man that he was. Personally for me, I was almost pushed away by the time travel plot mechanic. I tend to be pretty cautious when it comes to convenient plot devices like that because they tend to get abused. When that type of thing does happen, the story tends to suffer. But the good news is that the show tends to use it pretty well. Minor spoiler, but effectively how it works is that Takemichi can only go back exactly 12 years into the past, but he could go back to the present at any point he wants. That means that even though he could go back in time, he still only has one opportunity to make everything go down the way he wants. So even if he wanted to, he can't just go back over and over until he gets it right. My problem with time travel as a plot device usually comes from how it removes tension. If a character can change the past whenever they want and constantly redo their mistakes, then there are no stakes at all. But Tokyo Revengers fixes this. Instead, the stakes are elevated because the show tells the audience just how bad the future really is. At any point, if Takemichi fails, then he misses the only chance he has to make things right. For me, this is one of the few times that I've seen time travel done well, so it's nice to see. But Tokyo Revengers is also great at building well-motivated characters. Honestly, I'd say that this is one of the show's greatest strengths. The writers didn't just want you to know what the characters went through. They went out of their way to make you understand the parts of their past that form the foundation for who they became. When that information is revealed, the actions of each character suddenly becomes easy to empathize with. As of right now, Tokyo Revengers is still airing its first season, so there's still a lot of time left before it could be called great. But I've been pretty happy with the show so far, and all I can hope for is that the show keeps doing good things. But for now, that's gonna be it for me. If you got to this point in the video, think about hitting that like button. It triggers a slight dopamine release in my brain, and it helps out the channel too. But I've got nothing left to say, so later.